We've empowered over 100 women with vocational skills as a source of livelihood. We've trained teachers from 5 government-owned schools. We've commenced the second batch of mentorship program, which is ongoing currently. We support students and young professionals with employment and scholarship opportunities, which is basically what we are doing right now. We've partnered with organizations like Society Petroleum Engineers, Elita Consults, Lagos State Youth Ambassadors, Barian Fashion, and Selfless Service Foundation, and more to come. This is just a little bit of who or what Mr. B's Foundation is all about. So we are keen on promoting quality education, be it formal, informal, and we reward academic excellence because we believe that you being educated, it's just superb. So I would implore each and every one of us, because I'm sure you got this information from any platform. It could have been your friend WhatsApp status. You could have seen it on a LinkedIn post, on Instagram or something. So I would like you to please connect with us on LinkedIn at Mr. B's Educational Foundation, on Instagram at Mr. B's Foundation, and we have a YouTube channel, Mr. B's Educational Foundation, where we have series of videos which will be very helpful to you. We have videos on how to manage your time, a lot of educative videos you are going to find on our YouTube page, which is going to be worth your time. So please do well to connect. You can just minimize your Zoom app now. Go to LinkedIn if you've not connected with us. Probably you saw it on your friend WhatsApp status or something. Connect with us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel on YouTube, because there is more to come from where this is coming from. We are filled with impactful program for us all. So having said all of these things, we'll be starting with the panel session. I wouldn't want to waste our time. We'll be starting with the panel session, and I'll be handing over to our moderator, who happens to be the founder of the foundation as well, in person of Mrs. Mistura Yusuf. Sit back, bring out your writing materials, jot down, and you're going to enjoy the sessions. There'll be question and answer session after the panel session, so don't worry, your questions are going to be answered. Thank you once again. I remain my humble self, Zainab Yahya.
Thank you very much, Zainab, for that introduction and coordination. Please confirm you can hear me. Just probably with a thumbs up or something. And like she said, please, I think the only people who are expected to turn on their videos are the panelists, just to make it quite engaging, so we don't disrupt ourselves, and probably don't, just to make it coordinated actually. And for your audios too, same applies. And for the panelists, obviously, when you're talking, you unmute yourself and to avoid disturbance from the background. Okay, so we dive straight in. We all know why we're here. So PTDF, just like we all know, it's Petroleum Technology Development Funds. We can get information about PTDF on social media, so sorry, on their website. That's why I don't want to bore us with this. So just to give a brief about this aspect we're talking about, because PTDF does a whole lot, but for this, we're talking about scholarship from the Nigerian government for Nigerians, actually funded by oil companies. As the way they do the old stuff, but we need to go deep into that. They have different scholarships for BSc, MSc, and PhD. And I think the BSc is mostly for local scholarship. Then for MSc, PhD, they have the overseas and the local scholarship. I think recently they added this CPEX stuff in conjunction with UK. I don't have details about that, but I'm sure if we go online, we can actually do that. And to apply for this scholarship, just visit this link on the screen, and you can actually do yourself so much good. And applying whatever you've learned from this session we're going to have today. The closing date, just to remind you, is 28th of May. So don't sleep on it. Yeah, so the panelists, I'm not going to be talking about their profile because we intentionally posted their profile on social media. So I just go straight to their names and the year they got the scholarship. So the intention is actually we intentionally put together scholars from different years, so you can actually get their experience, how they applied, how they got the scholarship, I'm sure there are loads of questions on your mind, and they would sure do justice to that. So I have Alima. She got her scholarship in 2022, 23, and she studied in Malaysia. She got MSc scholarship. Then Omowale Ola is still a scholar. He is in 2023 and 2024. Precious got ours in 2024. That was last year. So she got ours right before this. Sorry. Please, if you are not a speaker, please turn off your video, please. Please give me a few minutes. Okay, so Aruna got his last 2023-24 and is still a PhD scholar. And Camille got his 2022-23, as well as Khadija, who got hers 23-24. And Khadija is a PhD scholar, so she's still she's still a scholar, as well as Camille, then Awal, and who is a PhD scholar. So I just want to say we are so happy and we are grateful for you accepting to be on this panel. We know you are putting in a whole lot in your studies, time, and this is a weekend. So firstly, I want to just appreciate you right before we dive in. So I think we go straight into the panel session now. So just to reduce the distraction, I would have to unshare my screen so we can see each other. Okay, yeah. So like I said earlier, this scholarship is for different countries, and you can see across our panelists, we have from the 4 countries. Yes, we have UK, we have Germany, we have France, and we have Malaysia. Yes. Okay, so I think it's on the platform, it's on the website that you have several questions several documents that you can actually upload. So I think we'll start with that. I'll start with MSc. Let me see who should do this. Okay, maybe let's say Precious. Maybe Precious, you can just guide us on on probably the document you actually used for your application during the application stage. Yeah.
All right. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, so for documents required for this application, there's actually a list that's on the site, but I mean, to say it, so you need a birth certificate, a local government identification certificate, you need your transcript, you would need proof of identity, like proof of being part of a professional body. Yeah, most other things I just think that you type in your WIRC results, like you type in the grades from those. But for most of them, for most documents, and then of course you need your personal statement, which you're going to write with your full heart and might, and keep it according to the requirements that you've given. So those are the major documents you would require for this. I don't know if I'm missing out on anyone, but I guess other people could add on.
Yeah, I guess probably Aruna can add up to what you need for a PhD.
Yeah, I think it's similar, only that in PhD you need your proposal, which is just like 5 pages. You have to make it short and precise. And as well, if you are using two SSCE results, you have to use the best one, because I think the main thing about PTDF is they have their marking criteria. So if you have more A's in NACO, you should use more your NACO results. instead of WAEC, or you can combine the two. So they don't really, what I observed that when I went for the interview, like they don't really care if you are using two results. They want you to combine your best results. So if you have A in maths in NACO, you can bring it in and bring B in WAEC, something like that. Yeah, I think right now you need to link your NIN as well to do verification. And I think that's really stressful compared to previous years that you don't really need NIN, local government certificate, and I think Precious mentioned everything. So, but if there is anything, it's on the website. You just need to pay attention to it, and yeah, I think membership if you have, and some other like things that you feel like adding.
Okay, so thank you. I think I like the aspect you talked about the WAEC stuff and the likes like that. Okay, so probably let me see. Since we have lots of speakers, I'm trying to okay, maybe Khadija can actually help us. Like, do we need to like get admission probably before applying or something?
Good morning, everyone. Regarding the admission, it's not like a major requirement because, as part of the documents listed is actually not, one of the criterias for application. And even after you've been shortlisted for the interview, it's still not a major requirement, but so I'm speaking in perspective to PhD, but I kind of like have an overview of the way the masters at the time when I did apply, they would ask you. So, but if you don't have it, like it's not like it reduces any grades from the amount of grading that they would give you. But particularly PhD, as during my time, I was asked if, I have admission or maybe contact with a supervisor and maybe, the school that I intend to go to. So during the time, I didn't even put any effort to look for anything because I just went on to make the application and I said, okay, maybe when I eventually get shortlisted or as one of those that will be benefiting from the scholarship, then I would go ahead to get the admission. So you can see, like in my own case, it didn't really count. But then it could be that another person they could ask, and because the thing is, the what do you call them? Is it the jury or
More
those
like
people? Yeah, the
the
jury.
interviewers or something.
The
Yeah, the
panel,
interviewers.
interview panel.
Like it depends on how you meet them that day. It could be they are like, for example, the people I met, that at that time, it was like they were just relaxed, like it wasn't even an interview. I was like, okay, ask me something about my publication or ask me, but they were not even concerned about that. Like they were just randomly doing things. So you can't really say like, okay, this is it. But of course, the major documents that are on the website, definitely they will ask you. As Haruna mentioned, like, oh, your SSCE, WIEC is very important. Your indigent certificate and what so, like all those things that are on the website, they will definitely ask you about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you. Wale, did you get admission before applying? Was the same with yours? Because I know you are in IFP school.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thanks for joining and for the opportunity. Can everyone hear me, please? Just let me
Yes,
know.
but your voice is a bit low. Is it just me?
Okay. How about now? Is it better?
Yeah, I think we can work with it.
Okay. So about securing admission, like one of my colleagues just mentioned, it's not entirely mandatory for you to secure your admission before getting the scholarship. But for you to apply for the scholarship, you need to fill in your choice of institutions, your first, second, and third choices of your schools, and the courses you intend to take in those courses. So while it is not necessarily mandatory to secure an admission, it can also still boost your application credentials, because from my own experience, the times I went for interview, both times I applied, I went for interview, I was asked if I've already secured an admission. So I'm presuming it could play a role in determining if you're going to get the scholarship. While I don't actually see it as one of the major determinants if you get the scholarship, I'll still advise, even if you have not secured the admission, at least make sure you have started the process alongside the application for the scholarship. Because through my own experience, I got the admission before the scholarship, because my school year is a place where I've always wanted to attend. So even before I had in mind of applying for PTDF scholarship, I just decided to apply and try my luck and see if I'm going to get the admission. And luckily for me, I passed through the interview, everything, and I got the admission. So it's made the application process for PTDF a bit seamless. And when I went for the interview, it's I feel it's even helped my interview, because we spoke about the school, about the program and everything. And I was able to show them this is my admission letter, and I've done that. So I won't say it's entirely, just like everyone we've mentioned earlier, it's not mandatory. But to show that you know what you want, you know what you're doing, to also show the interviewers that you are serious about what you are applying for. I think it's a show of seriousness on your part that you need what you really need, a scholarship, you mean what you're going for. So it's advisable, even if you have not gotten the admission now, you can start the application process. And when you are asked during the interview, you can tell them, well, I have applied, I'm waiting for feedback, and hopefully, or you are confident you're going to get the admission. But so finally, what I would say is, before you start the application for the scholarship itself, try and go through the schools of choice, or within the countries that are eligible for the scholarship. Try and make a short list of those schools and courses you intend to do. One thing is relevance. The relevance of your course, which is the most important thing, will determine the school you should go. I know there are other factors that determine the country you want to take the course, and you might have similar courses in some of the countries. So first and foremost, the course you're choosing for your scholarship has to be very relevant to oil and gas, and then you should be able to prove it in your statement of purpose, which you're going to submit alongside the application documents. So it's very important for you to have a short list of the courses and the schools you intend to apply to, so that while you are doing the application for the PTDF process, you're also working on the admission. Because it's one thing to see a good course that you want to do. It's another thing for you to have checked through to see that you actually meet the admission criteria. Each school, each different country, they have the admission criteria. So you should have made a short list of your schools and the courses, and checked that you meet the admission criteria. I think from there, everything becomes more straightforward.
Okay, thank you. There's a background noise okay, I think that's fine now. Okay, so back to Precious. You are in Imperial. Is it same for you, or let's say I have someone that wants to go to Imperial College now and wants to get the scholarship. So looking at probably the time frame or something, do I have to get the admission, or what's your take on that?
Okay, so I mean, because Imperial, for example, the course that I'm taking, it starts in September. If you're going to join the cohort that would go in this year, then by this time you should have secured your admission, which means you would have applied last year. But this does not affect you getting the PTDF scholarship. Like, there are two different entities, like applying for parallel applying to PTDF. PTDF, like, if your school has demands for maybe a, what do you call it? English, English proficiency, that does not affect whether you apply for PTDF or anything like that. So it's just important that, like Olawale said, you have, like Wale said rather, sorry, it's just a show of seriousness that you have that already in the bag, and it just shows that your mind's in the right place. And one other reason why I think getting an admission whilst working on the scholarship is a good idea is because after you make it to the interview and maybe you even pass that, the processing period, like, it's just much faster for you to have your processing done because you already have your admission letter. When you're filling the application form, there's like, there's a place that looks like you're supposed to fill in an admission letter, like at this point that you're applying, but that actually isn't like open yet till later on when you've crossed through, and then you need to upload that document. So you'll be asked for your admission letter later on. So it makes sense that you have it. But also, if you do make it through, during the orientation by PTDF, they would also let you know that, like, some other applications that you can make, like schools that are available, they'll advertise them during that orientation lecture, and you can afford to apply them. Well, like Wale said, I think it just shows that you really have your head on your shoulders if you have that ahead of time. So to conclude, you don't need to have an admission to get a scholarship, but having an admission before getting a scholarship is a good idea.
Okay, thank you. So I'll go straight to Awal. What directed your choice of school? So the thing is, what I'm trying to do is, we know this whole application is in stages, application, interview. So I'm trying to go in that line. So it's easy for us. So we are still within the application. So for those raising their hands, this is not a time for question and answer. You get your questions. I'm seeing some questions in the chat box. So I'm going to try to infuse your questions into what we're doing right now to save us time when it gets to that question and answer. Okay, so Awal, what directed your choice of country?
Yes, for the choice of country, it actually is mostly personal, because basically PTDF, there are two blocks, UK block and Malaysia, Germany, France block. Now the UK block is no more UK block, is Nigerian UK block. Okay, so for my own case, it is very personal. I choose Germany, France, Malaysia block, and again, I choose France as my prepared destination for my PhD. So, what actually drive my attention or my desire to prepare the course and institution is tied to my, what I will say, my proposal. I check my proposal and I look into the schools offering like a research based on my proposal I submitted to PTDF. So based on that, I have a list of schools that are offering course related to my proposal. So I keep on trying, applying through those schools. So this is basically like mostly personals, because like there are several research institutions across those countries, like in Germany, in UK, in France, and in Malaysia also. So basically, people should try and check the schools related with their, if it is PhD, related with their proposals, because a supervisor may decide to say like, yes, we have a funding, but what you are trying to do here, I don't offer it because this is where my research interests align with. So people should be very careful while choosing the schools. And for the case of the school, most of the schools may not be on the PTDF portal. Maybe after you get the award, you may start the processing of like getting admission from the schools. As far as like the school is offering the courses that PTDF can approve. So PTDF may add the schools into the portal and you use it for your application. So basically, in summary, like it's basically personal choice. And for me, it ties to my proposal. Thank you.
Okay. So from what you said, you just have to tailor it towards your interest. And I think you said something, well, probably I'll go back to that, but thank you very much. Okay, so someone asked about NYSC. I think the person is still serving or something like that. So Camille, can you kind of like, probably I'm still serving, about to be done. Let me see. I'm not so aware of the old batch NYC team. So probably there's a way we can do this. And is there a chance for maybe someone that has a tutu or something? I don't know if you have an idea about that. Can you just, Camille?
Okay, good day, everyone. First thing first, you need to have your NYSC done before applying for the scholarship, because if you pass through this first stage, definitely going to the interview stage, you must show your what's it called, NYSC certificate handy. So it's not like you can just input that you are done with your NYSC and does all that. You scale through the process. No, they will see catch you in the next stage, which is the interview stage, because all your document, like Miss Precious has said, your NYSC, your BSc, your statement of purpose, your ranging down to your what's it called, local government and certificate, you have to bring them, not even photocopy, original copy. So even though you think you are smart that okay, right now we just input any number, NYC number, and that's all, then maybe you scale through, they will still catch you during the interview. So you must finish your NYC and have your certificate at hand before applying for the scholarship. So since you are not yet done, you have to like be patient. You have to be patient till next year to apply for the scholarship. There are other scholarship which doesn't even need what's it called, NYC certificate. You can actually look at that direction. And secondly, you asked about tutu. Yeah, definitely. For those people with tutu, definitely you can apply, but there's a comma there. You have to do extra work, because those with a first class, I think their marks is 10. Then those with 2-1, their marks is 8. Those with 2-2, their marks is 6. So you with 2-2, you have to have what's it called, the range of things that the 2-1 or the first class doesn't have. Okay, let me assume the first class person doesn't have what's it called, professional body certificate, and the 2-2 has the professional certificate. Going to the interview process and the rest, you'll see the 2-2 will have the scholarship and the first class person won't have the scholarship. So PTDF as a whole has its own scheme of marking scheme. Like you write an exam and your teacher or your lecturer has his own marking scheme. Also, PTDF has their own marking scheme. Those with first class, those with 2-1, with 2-2, there are ranges of documents you need to have to be successful in the scholarship. Like I said, a first class person might not have professional body certificate, but a 2-2 have the professional certificate. The 2-2 has a higher chance of winning the scholarship than the first class person. Next, again, is your mode of dressing, your interview, how you coordinate yourself during the interview as well, and maybe journals as well. Then your SOP, most especially your SOP. So it carries the greatest mark. So the first class person might just on a norms just write any SOP as it wants, but the 2-2, you have to be very, very careful in writing your SOP, and you have to channel it to the oil and gas sector. So with this, I guess you can have a higher chance of getting the scholarship, but you have to put more work into that.
Thank you. Okay, Precious.
All right, thank you. So, I mean, concerning the NYSC thing, I think it's a bit tricky because, for example, if someone's going to be done next month, then I think you could send in your call-up letter and you would have your certificate ahead of the interview. I can say this because when I applied the first time, I wasn't done my NYSC, but I was going to be done by like October, which of course was too farther than when the interview would hold. And so I applied my call-up letter, and then of course, because my application was really good, I received a call from, like PTDF basically, like, when are you going to be done with your NYSC? And I was like, oh, October. They were like, oh no, you have to have your certificate before the interview. So, I mean, if the deadline for application is May 28th and you're going to be done by May, I think you can still give it a shot. I just wanted to throw that in. And like Camille said, if you have a tutu, like, please sell yourself. There's still room. Like, you can augment for that with any other great thing that you have going on for you. So thank you.
Okay. So I was actually going to go to Alima, and I have her hand raised up already. Okay, Alima, please.
Okay, so I wanted to add to regarding the person with tutu. So I think if you have tutu and you have work experience, it kind of like, supports it. So make sure like you mention that you have some work experience, and yes, so that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, so thank you for that addition. Let me see. Any special way the CV is supposed to look like? Is there anyone that wants to jump in on that? Probably, I don't know, maybe Aruna.
Okay, I think there are different categories of CV. I mean, like, so if you are going for your master's or PhD, you are okay, for master's student, you are expected as a fresh graduate, which like you can actually have internship or graduate training program, or you are just starting your career and you want to go for your master's. So I think the main thing is to highlight your academic achievement. If you've won any awards during your undergraduate, or you participated in a competition, hackathon, or you presented paper, or you participated in organizing an event which ultimately help you to build something big, I think you should include it. So the first one, like, it should be your name, your LinkedIn profile link, and also the second part should be your education. Probably you may choose to use your high school or just like overlook it. But if you have like A's in your WAEC, you just need to highlight it. Your undergrad, you state your grade and also some personal accomplishment during your journey. Then this third part should be your work experience. Even if it is an internship and you do something related to oil and gas, or you do something related to what you want to do in your PhD, or sorry, your master's, then you need to highlight that. Totally extracurricular activities like leadership, community work, or any other certification that you need to add. I think CV doesn't really carry much weight, but I would stress on those that are actually writing SOP. They should actually look at how everything flows together. Your CV should talk about what your SOP is, so that if you are writing your SOP, even if I'm not really technical person in your field, I should be able to make sense of what you want to do in your master's degree, right? So the first thing you need to just tell them that I'm coming from here, A, and this is where I am, B, and this is where I want to go, C. And D part should be like you're trying to beg them, with this scholarship I will be able to achieve my career or something like that. Just like 5 paragraphs, you should be all right. You don't need to use technical term or something like that. In fact, the panel might not be aware of what you want to do in your PhD or master's. Just make it simple and clear, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think CV is not really much of a criteria also. So, but I think even the SOP, I think has a limit of, is it 500 words or something like that. So you really,
Yeah,
really have to
500
go straight
words.
to the point. Yes, go straight to the point. You don't need to beat around the bush. Let them know what it is you want to do and all of it. So for Khadija, from your profile, it shows you got the MSc, PTDF Overseas, and you also got the PhD, like you're the real Odogu. So please, for those probably who have gotten MSc before and want to get PhD, like what are they supposed to do? And just
So I would put out a disclaimer, which is I actually thought when I finished my master's, like, oh, it's like, you'll be PTDF scholar, they'll give you sharp, sharp. But it doesn't work that way. So of course, like you are an alumni, that's one part. But then again, you're still competing with, you know, several other people. Even if you have distinction, somebody else too has distinction. Like, so it wasn't really straight. When I finished, I applied the next year, which was in 2020/2021 for my PhD. But unfortunately, as at the time, COVID came about. We were even about to do the interview, and then they canceled it because we were on lockdown. So I just gave it a pause until 2022/2023. I tried again. I said, okay, well, now we're back. Like, I think this should be easy. And then I received a shocker of my life. Well, that was a first because I don't think I've ever gotten rejected in something. So that was a first for me. And so I was shortlisted for the interview. I went for the interview and um and then I did the interview. I submitted my PhD proposal at the time and everything was perfect. And the funny thing was the person that interviewed me for my master's turned out to be the person that was interviewing me for my PhD. So in my head, I was like, oh, this is it. We've gotten it. But then I was waiting, like after you do the interview, I think it takes like 6 weeks or so, then maybe the final result or something will come out. I did not hear anything. And then I just said, okay, this wasn't for me. I then had to go back to my drawing board again because I specialize in petroleum production engineering. So I wanted to do something related to, yeah, one of the specialization, which is like flow assurance. And I guess that topic wasn't really catchy, or maybe the grading was not up to, what they were expecting or so. So I said, okay, when 2023/2024 came around again, I said, well, I'm not going to submit this proposal. So I decided to like change the topic entirely. And then, currently like we're into this energy transition. So this is I'm pointing it to the PhD like candidates. So there's this booming thing about whether AI, energy transition, renewable energy, like those carbon capture and storage, they are like the catchy areas now. So something just said, okay, why not just come up with something related to that line? And well, as God will have it, like I did, and that was even the one that I did not even put my mind. Like the first one, I had like 3 admissions already waiting for me. So the next one, I was like, well, I'm just gonna give it a try. So I did not even contact any supervisor. I did not contact any school. I just went ahead and did the application and the interview. So it was after the shortlisting that, well, I saw, oh, my name is there. Then I decided to now like go ahead and complete the the process. But in summary, what I'm going to say is, yes, number one, you could be a previous scholar. Yes. That could give you a high chance. Like, sometimes like when we get to the interview, we kind of what's the word again? Like shortchange
Sell
ourselves.
yourself short.
Yes, like you are trying to be humble. See, if you have like all the awards in this world, tell them this is what I have. Like sell yourself. Like make them like you're given us like storytelling. They themselves, they can't say no. You understand? Like you have to sell yourself. So I think after the first one, I just went back and I said, okay, maybe this is what I didn't do. Okay, this is what I did. And then sometimes you even see that um the processes change. So during the first interview, they did not ask me for membership, but they asked for publication. In the second, they asked none. I took like every of my evidence, I printed it out and I took it and they asked nothing. He just asked me on the proposal. And even the proposal is like, okay, what is it going to do? Like after you're done, like what's the impact of your research? And that was it. So yeah, like yes, I keep going back again as alumni or previous scholar, please give it a try. Yeah. No matter how many times, if you try the first time, don't say, oh, I tried the first time and that was it. No, I need connection, what not. Trust me, I know people that have applied 3, 4, 5. It doesn't cut you short of anything. It's just that, of course, like as you're applying, don't just focus your energy in just like, oh, it's PTDF. No, you try um should I say other what? The
Other
English.
scholarships, the other
Scholarship,
Yeah,
options.
other
scholarship.
scholarship. Yeah, so don't just say, oh, I've applied for PTDF. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, even applying doesn't mean your life would come to a pause. You go ahead with the
exactly.
stuff you're doing. So when it comes in, you like let it fit into what you're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that kind of reminds me of when I actually applied for mine. I got it on the third try, I think. The first time I went there and I was so humble. I did not take any awards I got. I was like, what's the point? And all of these things. You said the third time. I made photocopy of even the awards that are flags. I took everything. So okay, so still with Khadija. And you have to create a profile. So do you apply on the same profile you got your MSc, or you have to create a new profile, or what's it?
Okay, so the thing is when we applied for um our masters, I think they eventually like restructured the portal in a way. So when I applied for the first PhD application, it was there. When the next time I was applying, it was actually like it was there. Like you see maybe application summary or something. So you see it. So it depends on if you apply the second time, you see your because the information are the same. So maybe the only thing that changes is the documents that you are uploading, but it will show you if you apply 2022 through 2023, 2023 through 2024, like yeah, you see it there. You see it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you. I don't know. Alima, I don't know if you can help us with something around transcripts. Someone is saying, are you still with me?
Yes.
Okay, so someone is saying something around, okay, yeah, we know the normal Nigerian academic system. You cannot have access to your transcripts, your official transcripts. So can people use probably the unofficial transcripts during, or I don't know. How did you do yours?
So for me, I applied through my school. So I was able to get access to my transcripts. So there's a way I went to ABU. So there's a way that you can apply, and then maybe at that point it would be delivered to an institute. Then you can tell the institute to provide you with it. So for me, earlier, that's before I applied for that scholarship, I applied for a school that required my transcript. So they sent them a copy of my transcript, and the school sent it back to me. So that's how I was able to use it to do mine. But I think you will have, there's a way you can get like a statement, not like, is it statement of, it's not really statement of results, but from your department, they should be able to give you an unofficial transcript. So I think you can use that to apply, then you further try to work a way to get your official transcript from the school. So I think you need your transcript. So you just try to get the unofficial one. It doesn't really change anything. It should just be the volume that is required. How will I say say how many MB? You just need to compress it to the amount, the MB that is required for you to upload it. That's all.
Okay, I see Aaron was nodding his head. You want to say something?
No,
Yemi? Okay.
not really. So the main thing is if you've been applying for scholarship throughout your undergraduate years, for those of us that have been applying to Akpami, Total Energy, you'll be uploading those kind of documents. So as you are going up, you are keeping those kind of records. So you don't really need official transcript for you to apply for the scholarship, right? What I know, like during your registration in your school, you need like some schools like mine or some other schools that they will require your undergrad school to send them directly instead of you uploading it to their portal. I think that's what really make difference. But I think you need to get those kind of documents anyhow. Some school do hold it, but if you know how you can actually get through your level coordinator or your faculty supervisor, that you can, hey, I'm applying for this scholarship, please get me my final year result or something like that. And I think you can just find your way around it. But if you don't really have a complete transcript or unofficial transcript, you can still use the ones that you have, telling them that you are still processing the main. And the main thing is for them to know that you've graduated, and you also have your statement of results with you, and you also have all the other documents with you. Because one thing that I observe here is for every document that PTDF asks you, there is a mark for it. For every single criteria that I've been asked to present, there is mark for it. I didn't really struggle to get the trick, because before I apply, I already have the template for PhD, and I observe their marking criteria. So before I even apply, I already have a sense of this is the cut-off mark that I'm gonna get, and no matter what, like I'm gonna get through because I have almost everything to present. So before you submit your application, you just need to check through. Just have a document list, checklist, and look at it. And if you're applying for MSc or PhD, just get the marking template, because you can just search for it online and you find it. Or if you don't have, I can forward it to Ms. Trura for PhD guys, then she will share to the participants. So before you submit your application, just do document checklist and find like, okay, I have this, I have this, I have this. Then you calculate your own mark, because everyone is competing from somebody from their state, right? So if you think you graduate with first class, there are thousands of guys that finish with first class. If you think you have probably best awards, like there are other guys that, I mean, like I was reading a post on LinkedIn, somebody was saying that it's difficult to get into Harvard. He just making a comment than to get PTDF scholarship, because the acceptance rate is quite low, honestly. It keeps on getting competitive. So even if you are applying, just give your best, because don't think like, oh, if I don't get it this time, next year I can still apply, or next year. It keeps on going, it keeps on getting competitive. So what I want, like if I have to do it again, I will make sure that I put in my best, because I did it, like I applied in my first trial and I got it because I waited. I look at the profile of the people that got it, and I observed that this is what they normally do, and this is the marking criteria. So before you apply, just observe and put in your best. Don't think like I have time next year to apply. It keeps on getting competitive, and you are not even sure that next year there will be PTDF scholarship, right? Nigeria is going through quite an interesting economic times, and anything can happen. So if you're applying now, just give your best. And like I said, if you don't get PTDF, there are other scholarships that you can try. But as a scholar, I will tell you that PTDF is one scholarship that you enjoy to have. You'll be laughing like it's a big scholarship, honestly, from my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we advert. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so Wale.
Yeah, so it's just to buttress what Arun and Precious have mentioned earlier. I believe when you are applying for scholarships and so many other things we do in life, there's a place for preparation. You have to prepare. You know that this scholarship will be coming out soon. You have gone ahead to do your checks, to check the requirements, to check the documents you'll be needing. You should be able to come up with months before the scholarship officially opens. At least you should have gotten, if not all your documents, like 80 to 90% of them ready. You could have applied for other scholarships as well. These are documents, most of these scholarships, the application documents are common, like they are, you need almost the same documents to apply for a lot of scholarships, just right there. So it's necessary for you to have at least get a short list of these documents and prepare them. Preparation is very key in things like this. It shows that you know what you want. It gives an impression to the interviewers or to the PTDF, those that will be going through your documents during the shortlist. Because before you are shortlisted for the interview, they will go through your documents or the application. So you discover a lot of persons, they don't make the interview stage from there. Because why? Because their documents does not meet the criteria to move to the interview stage. So you discover that for you to even beat that first hurdle of making the interview stage, it comes down to your documents. So you might have a lot of qualifications, credentials, and everything. But if you have not prepared those documents, those credentials, you have not prepared your documents properly, you might not even get shortlisted for the interview. And that's the end of the road. You have to wait for the next opening. Some persons might be thinking, well, I will wait for once I get to interview stage. Maybe before then I would have gotten the document, gotten that one. I will package myself very well. You might not get to the interview stage if your application package is not solid. So you should always prepare ahead for things like this. Like Arun said, he didn't apply on time. He waited until he had all his documents, everything handy, a hot application package. So that when he submitted it, they had no choice than to, you understand. So it's very important, and pray for grace as well. It's not just about you having a good document application package. I don't know if anybody has mentioned it. This scholarship, you are in competition with people from the same state as you. You understand? You discover that some persons with a poorer, let me say, a lesser application strength than you, but from another state got the scholarship, whereas you with a very good application, a good strength of document, you didn't get it. You should know by now that the people you are competing with are the people from your state. So if you have very strong applicants from your state, it means you need to put more effort than somebody with than that state, someone from another state whereby applications from there are not that strong. I'm not saying some states are weak. I'm not saying that, but you need to know that you are in competition with people from your state. So if you know your states are now scholars who your state hot edge, you need to put a lot of effort to package
You
your
don't even know who is applying. That's
exactly. You don't even
so
know who is
probably you're
applying.
lucky, and that particular year you're applying, people with not so much strength in the application are the ones applying, and you just get it, boom. I remember when I applied for mine, I think that year, for the year I got it, we had less Lagosians applying. And the funny thing I did was, right after they invited us for the interview, I don't know how I got access to. There was this data that someone posted where you get to see almost everybody that applied. What I did was, I did like a
that particular year.
yes, I did a search. I checked all Lagosians that applied. it was so funny that I saw some names that I knew that no, these ones are not even negotiations. Like I was shortlisting on my own. I started canceling out all of these people's names and I saw the remaining and I said, okay, normally if they would give, let's say, 8 people from Lagos this scholarship, I would be amongst these 8. I knew the number of people that were left and I gave in my very best shot during this. So it's just about you preparing ahead. So Awal, okay, sorry, just to say we spent almost an hour now and we still have lots of questions. So please let's reduce the time. Okay, so Awal, yes.
Yes, please let me add about this what Harun has said. For example, yes, it is very vital people should understand the PTDF logic actually because it's very essential. You are competing not only for those guys in your state, you are competing with those guys in your state within your block. So for example, if like I'm from maybe Ekiti state, I apply for UK. So therefore I'm competing with only those guys that apply to UK. Maybe someone may get highest mark in UK and you will not get it. And someone may get less mark like in another block in the same state. So therefore you can get it. So basically for each state you have 2 blocks. You have UK, but now it is Nigeria and UK, not UK. And the other block is Germany, France, Malaysia. So basically then you can start like thinking, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go, this is where I'm supposed to go. So while selecting, you may end up having more competitive like block inside your state. So people should be very careful and like check the logic because you may get like maybe 90 mark from Meduguri and someone from maybe I will say Kano get 60 mark and he get it because like based on ranking, you fall maybe like the number 6 in your state. While that guy from Kano, he's like a second person like from Kano state. And like maybe PTDF decided to give like only 2 guys from each block in each state. So definitely this is the logic. Hey, I'm brilliant. I know like I'm brilliant more than this guy, but he got it. Why? So this is the basic logic. And please let me add something. There are some changes in the portal, especially those applying to UK. It is no more UK only, it's Nigeria and UK as I keep saying. So you spend some times in Nigeria and like move to UK and there is so many restriction because I know the UK guys used to like get a large pond in, you are the one who like given PTDF like more headache because of you get much money there. So uh there are already predefined proposals in the portal for each for the guys applying to this block. So please be very careful for those applying for PhD. Go and see the all predefined proposals there. Maybe those in civil, those in chemistry, those in petroleum. Like the proposal are there. I don't know how many, but like someone called my attention. I say, oh, because like this, they have their college, and they know like maybe the equipment they have, like the manpower they have. So therefore, they have directed their all proposals to what they have in their center and like the collaborating university in the UK. So they have specific like predefined proposal in the portal. So don't just go and like maybe craft your proposals, which is out of those scopes. But I know maybe for those applying to Germany, France, Malaysia, maybe they have this flexibility. But for those applying Nigeria and UK, please go and check the portal. There are so many predefined proposals already uploaded in the portal. Therefore, they may help you and guide you for crafting your proposals. I think
Okay,
this is
so
what I will
thank you.
add. Maybe later I will say something again.
Thank you for that, like for really doing the assignment. Okay, yes, so still with you, Awal. I see you
Okay.
studied civil engineering,
Yes.
which is really not within the oil and gas. Like we know the regular oil and gas career line and the likes like that. So how did you like get your ways? Are you trying to say if I did not study something related to oil and gas, I can actually get this scholarship?
Yes, I like this question. Basically, let me start like maybe like giving like some maybe remark on your question before I answer the question. Basically, like civil engineering is one of the backbone of oil and gas industry. It's basically like among like the top tiers like pillars in oil and gas industry. Because I will depend this saying. For those who are not like in oil and gas, like based like courses, maybe like because I study civil engineering, maybe chemical, like general engineering, geosciences, and applied sciences, they'll be like, oh, we are very comfort. We can just apply this scholarship because like it aligns perfectly with our career. But those in social sciences, they will be like, oh, we are confused. Like, how can we apply and get this scholarship? Or like, let me tell you, if you know how to do it, you will beat those with petroleum engineering degree in your state. I'm sure like you can beat them. Like people like maybe very aware that, especially those in UK, there is a course oil and gas economy, right? Like they call it oil and gas economy. Those in UK, they know like so many universities used to offer this course. So like when you finish all your business explorations, refine, like all the logistic of oil and gas, then it comes to the world, like where the economy will start playing a role, like energy, all these things, crisis. So you need like a real economist to handle those cases. Like Nigeria is a partner in OPEC. So someone with international relationship degree may think a better way that he can like apply that knowledge of international relationship that will benefit Nigeria in OPEC. And someone in law with a law degree, he can also craft his own proposal like to align with the like PDDF mandate because they need law. Like they need law. There is international laws of oil and gas. So it's not restricted only to those in engineering, geoscience, and applied sciences. Once you can align your like proposal or SOP toward the mandate of the fund, you can easily like beat those like us with engineering like background. Like Mr. Back to your question of civil engineering, geotechnical engineering, logistic, the asphalt, they are all part of civil
Yeah,
engineering.
sure. I was just trying to do it in
Yes,
like
I know.
generic
I know,
way
I know.
because
Yes,
lots of
yeah.
people have been asking this
Yes.
question.
So people like
Okay.
those in social sciences try and work like a little harder to those like who are like basically in oil and gas like domain. Therefore, you can basically like beat them and won the award against them because I know someone who get the award. He studied economics and he get the award ahead of those with engineering degree. So basically, it is you that will determine
If you
whether you
get
get the award or not.
okay, thank you. Yeah, Khadija.
Yeah, so I wanted to add because I have been getting like messages on my personal page, like people asking for like, oh, I studied laboratory science or MBBS, like can I apply for PTDF? So I have something when we applied for masters as at the time, we had colleagues that were, MBBS graduates, but they applied based on public health. Because the thing is, when you look at, like the Niger Delta, with the whole environmental pollution and the what do you call it? Is it remediation? Like environmental remediation. Like there's a way like those guys kind of like tailored the SOP to focus towards that. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, well, it's not like I want to bust PTDF bubbles, but it doesn't even, okay, let me put it this way. Like when I applied for masters, as at that time, I applied under petroleum chemistry. Like I said, oh, I want to do petroleum chemistry. But eventually, when I went for the interview, and the interviewer asked me like, oh, what do you intend to do? I said, oh, I have interest in production engineering because, but it's not like I ever had a background in petroleum engineering. No, I studied petroleum chemistry as my bachelor degree. Okay, so at the end of the day, he was like, so why do you want to do production? Like, you don't even have engineering background. But I was like, okay, this school I'm applying to, there's relevance because most of the courses that we've done in petroleum chemistry, you can just say that, oh, we did not do the high and mighty mathematics, differential equation and all, but it still tailors towards, the petroleum and gas engineering courses. So it's just finding like how I said, like finding a way to storytell, to
Yeah.
convince them that, see, even if I studied laboratory science, I can, laboratory science, you can do
It's
what
even relevant. It's relevant. Like
is
coming from my
very relevant.
experience in the refinery, we have lab guys, you have
Exactly.
it's everywhere. So it's just
It's
for you to pick
everywhere.
something within that niche and tell your story.
True, true. So I think a lot of people just, even before putting in the application, they've put this box in their head that, okay, they said, oh, it's an oil and gas something. So there's nothing. I think there is no course that is not in the oil and gas industry. I well, not, of course, there's no catering, no, but of course, there's still caterers, obviously. But I think there's everything: civil, electrical, um, everything,
No, everything is there. Like I
everything.
have guys during my batch that actually studied medicine and law and they got it. So
Exactly.
it's just
So
for you
please,
to be open-minded.
if any one of you thinks, oh, it's just STEM, no. Social sciences, medical sciences, um, even language self. If you study English, if there's a way like you can twist it to tell them that you come and write their policies for them. Yeah,
Okay,
like
so
you can do
thank
that.
you. Aruna, please just little addition, then Camille.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would stress here is that originality, right? The people that are reviewing your SOP or your proposal know what they are doing, right? So just be original. If you are crafting your SOP or you are crafting your proposal, don't really think you could actually trick them or just come up with something that will not fly, right? They will ask everything sometime and they'll review everything. And secondly, what you need to do is that pay attention to what is currently happening, not only at the global level, but at the Nigerian scale. Nigeria is passing through a transition. You have low access to electricity, you have the oil and gas facing restructuring at the moment. IOCs, they are divesting. You have indigenous players trying to work through the onshores, and you have another deals coming at the offshore, and you still have like the prices of fuels are still going up with lots of consumption. So for everything that you are doing, just reflect on these problems. Think how your field or what you want to study can actually help Nigeria. Doesn't necessarily has to be like a big data, emerging technologies. Don't think about something that is playing at the global level that you can actually benchmark at the Nigerian level. If you do that, trust me, they won't be impressed, but they'll just look at you as a, because I had the experience. I was doing something related to machine learning in production engineering, and I was just having a chat with one of the panelists because every other person doesn't really has like technical knowledge about what I want to do, but I was trying to sell the idea to them and they were impressed. So if you're gonna do something, do it in Nigerian context, make it clear and concise. Don't try and say, send me your SOP, let me copy it, or send me your proposal, let me do it. It doesn't work, right? Nobody is gonna give you scholarship because you are poor or you need it. You have to tell them that this is the reason why you have to spend millions of naira on me, and this is why I deserve it. That's all about PTDF scholarship and many other scholarship that you're gonna apply. Thank you.
Thank you. Put on your problem solving like cap.
Yeah,
Okay, Camille,
just
please.
just a recap because there's no time. The thing is that I motivate people that even though it's fishery, like you study fishery, so far you can tailor it well to the oil and gas sector. Like, okay, you have to do that research, you have to sit down and work that work. Are you getting it? Okay, maybe the scale of the fish, I can use it to transform electricity and the rest. Just find something you understand that works with the oil and gas sector. Do your you don't wait for someone like, okay, like Haruna said, you copy and paste someone's SOP. It doesn't work that way. You have to sit down, you have to research, and you have to know what you are doing. So that's what I would like to say. And I saw someone in the group chat saying about professional certificate. For me, I applied for NSC, which is Nigeria Society of Engineers, like a week to my interview, and the certificate came out a day to my interview. So the thing is, let me put it in PJ. Now, who give up? Now fail. You understand? Now who give up? Now fuck up. You understand? So you have to, because you are dealing with so many talented people. So don't give anybody a chance to beat you. Even though it's a pencil PTDF are asking you for, bro, go and find that particular pencil. Come shine, and believe in me, you will excel. In short, thank you.
Thank you. I wish I had this opportunity. Like I had this session prior to getting my own scholarship, but all good. That's why we are here. So I see you guys are answering some of the questions in the chat box. Thank you very much. So I've actually been going through it to the person that asked question about having C's in your WAEC. It still applies to the same answer as someone that has a 2-2. So tailor it, give it your best shot. Someone said if you have 2 masters, why should you upload it to? I don't think it's that relevant.
No. You
Put
just
in the one that
you just
that is
upload.
that is relevant.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really have to be the one you use. It doesn't have to be the recent one. Just look at it and look at the one that is relevant to probably your PhD proposal. So Alima, okay, I know Camille said something about the NSC certificate. I see you are also a part of different professional bodies. So how, like, did you have to upload all their certificates, or what did you do around that?
Okay, so I think it's actually very important because they requested for it. So I had a few bodies that I was registered with, so I uploaded all of it. And I think it actually has points. So not having it kind of, I think you miss out on those points. So all the certifications that you have, please go with them for the interview and upload them. Then what again? Then if you've done all these short courses related to oil and gas, if you have publications, even if you're applying for MSc and you have publications, please go with it because it will kind of also boost your chances. So if you have if you're a member of any professional body, please upload it and then go with print it and go with it so that they would see that you actually are. So it increases your chances as well.
Okay, so now I'm going through the chat. Okay, so we've answered the person that talked about biology, then you talked about professional body. So what about someone that is not registered? I know, yes, Camille said you can actually still register now. So I guess that answers the question. But funny enough, there was even one body I actually registered with IAENG, I think so.
Okay.
As at
American this
engineers, yes. As at then, I got my certificates, I think the second day or even the same day. But now it takes like a while, maybe like a month or so. Yeah, so you could just let's explore all of these things. Okay, Khadija, you had your hands up before.
Okay, so I can okay. The thing is that to get professional body certificate, at least a week is okay. Are you getting me? So you can start right now, apply, and you understand, pay the necessary money. It's not that you have to wait for Korean, you have to wait for other big bodies. You can go for the little ones, and that suffices as well. And coming down to people talking about scores and the rest, your motivation is 20 marks. Your aspiration is 15 marks. Your perspiration is also 20 marks. Your interview on that day is also 20 marks. Your qualification, like I said, your first class, second class, and the rest is 10 marks. Your publication is 5 marks. Then award on prizes also carries your 10 mark. So more of that, I think I've answered that question. Then your motivation, it has to develop your research interest. Then why do you want to carry on this master's degree, or is it PhD? So your motivation has to cover that as well. Then this chosen field, why did you choose this field? It has to cover into your motivation. So without this, your 20 marks, you can't get your whole 20 marks. Then your aspiration, what do you tend to achieve? All these are inside your SOP. That's why you have to settle down and structure your SOP, because your SOP is the ball game of that day. Because the only thing that you can pass, like the 2-2 people, I'm talking more about the 2-2 people. The only thing that you can beat the first class or the 2-1 person is your motivation and how you carry along with your interview on that day. So please, you guys should take note on this aspect. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Khadija.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add with regards to, I think some people are asking like if we can help with reviewing, SOPs and what, but that is not possible. Honestly, I tried it the last time. It's something.
Overwhelming. You have
So as Camille is already giving this the score sheet that he's talking about, right? Mr. Haruna also has that something. I think you can upload it on maybe Google Drive and just share it on your page so that if people want to access it, they can be able to do so. But generally, I don't know, for MSc, 500 words, go straight to the point. Why the course that you are applying for? Why the course? What's the relevance to, your interest? And I think there's even like a template that they've given on the site. They will tell you reason for maybe the application,
how it's related to the
impact.
Nigerian government. Yes, yes, yes,
They've
yes, yes.
already, so use that to answer, use those questions to generate your motivation letter or whatever we call it. But you need to be as specific to yourself as possible. When I was completing my master's application that year, I think it was 2018, I just finished serving. I was on my phone and somebody just sent me the link. I was like, this is PTDF. It was like I was, how do you even say it? Like I was replying to a chat or something. But because I knew what I wanted, I knew, okay, I'm applying for this scholarship not because, oh, I'm from a less privileged home, or no, there's nothing like that. They don't even want to hear anything like that. Just focus on what exactly you intend to do, what you're going to study, what the impact of that course will be after you have, graduated, or you're, giving back to Nigeria and whatnot, and how that impacts generally to, the oil and gas industry. And yeah, you're good to go. And I don't know if I can share this with you. I actually had like a small presentation package, small one for my German people, because me, I'm more concerned about
Probably we
actually.
can do that later. We
Yes.
can do that later.
So
Yeah.
but generally, yeah, just make sure PhD proposal, make sure is a scientific base. Don't go and carry story of two whole pages carrying, it doesn't have structure, no paragraph, because I've reviewed so many what do you call it, proposals, and at some point in time I was like, are you serious? Even me, I will not give you this scholarship. So yeah, like do your homework. Like it's not just about applying. Haruna has said it Times without number. Precious too said the same thing. Like, do your homework. It doesn't even matter if you don't apply until like 1 week before the deadline, but you have made sure that everything that you need is intact. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, so Awal, please, something brief. I guess you want to say something.
Yes, very brief. I'll just want to add, maybe I'll give them a trick on how to deal with their, like, maybe review all these things. Let me give you the audience a trick. Number one, as Khadija said, maybe I don't know, those in master's level, like for the PhD, like those in Germany, France, and UK and Malaysia, like even our time is not enough for us to deal with our like challenges here, because like you will be like, I'll just sleep, wake up.
Honestly,
Sometimes you'll just sleep with your computer beside you. Like, you don't have time. You don't have time. Like challenges, they are too much. So let me give them a trick. I believe that don't submit your application without consulting someone to touch it for you. Yes, it's very, very essential, because someone who is not like submitting the application by himself, he's no like very emotional. He can just see a little mistake that is your application document, you cannot see it, because he don't care about what is happening there. You'll just notice a little maybe mistakes, or like something that need to be corrected. That is number one. Then number two, stick to the template. You don't need to like, go and do like carry like so many jargons and put it. Just stick to the template. Like put PhD, 5 pages, 5 pages. MSc, 500 words. For the review, I think like the most recent applicant or the most recent awardees, some they are not yet to resume the schools, maybe mostly for the PhDs. Some are going for Germany, maybe for the dad. Like I know, like they are in the process of visa. So please, those who are applying, try to connect with the most recent set, because they are not into like the business. So therefore, they may have time. Yes,
You
they
think
may have
so?
time, and yes,
Don't connect to Precious.
yes, please, they may have time to like to touch
You
your
think they
document.
have
But
time?
those who are
No,
already in
please.
the sea, like they are driving, oh, they are going to prostrate you. Like maybe Khadija and Aruna, like they may not have time to touch your application document. Maybe you can reach out to
I
them.
think
Maybe you can lobby them.
with
They may touch
respect to
it.
that,
But I know they are fully occupied. Like I don't know how to do my own problem. Anyway,
with
they
respect to
will
that, I think
touch it.
my advice would just be, don't put your energy with just one person.
Yes.
Okay, now we are having this session. 184 people are on the call, and let's say 90 of them are PhD scholars. So imagine the 90 persons that are contacting Aruna. You don't expect him to respond to everybody.
Nobody is
So,
contacting me. For context, nobody is contacting me.
so in all of these people here, like we have scholars, it doesn't have to be just PTDF scholarship.
Yeah,
I think I recently saw this guy. I've forgotten his name. He wrote this book, the Scholarship Bible or something like that. There are several things to explore. So don't just say, I contacted this person, he did not get back to me. Funny enough, before this session, a lot of people reached out. I'm sure all of the panelists, most of them, I reached out to them even before the scholarship came out.
Yes,
That, okay, I
and please,
plan on doing this.
and please try to connect to those like that you are such interest aligned with. Like because like
Yes.
I'm civil engineer, you can't bring something related to chemistry and ask me to review it for you. Like I will just look at the structure and be like, my head will be like busting. Oh, this. I don't even understand the terms. So if you are like related to economics, try to connect to guys in economics. If you are like in petroleum, try to relate with guys. If you are in health, like so therefore like there will be a distribution or like division of labor. I think
Okay.
it's
So,
best idea.
Alima, sorry to cut you. I'm trying to manage time. Okay, Alima.
So what I wanted to say is, or what I wanted to add was that I think it's very important that you do your homework. I mean, in your SOP, you would pick a course, you would pick a school, you know. So when you go, it's what's on your SOP that they will likely discuss with you during the interview. So for me, I was asked almost everything I put on my SOP. So I had to defend it. And you might be I understand that we want to tailor, our profession to the oil and gas industry. So it's very important that you tailor it well, because they can ask you technical questions. Like me, I was asked technical questions, but it was already my field. So it's important that you do your homework so you have an idea of, okay, if they ask me this basic question about this thing that I'm trying to go into, if they ask me, I would be able to respond to it. So that's just what I wanted to add.
Yeah. Because you really do not know who would interview you. That's it. So just be prepared. Okay, I'm Precious.
Yeah, I think everyone has said everything, but I just want to say that there are lots and lots of resources to pull from. Like, people are not going to have as much time to be able to go through everyone's statement. So if people have created resources or even just other existing resources that are there, do leverage them, because I reckon that people took their time to create these things so that they will not have to answer people one by one. So
Yes.
please leverage those. Thank you.
So add to that, I think Precious recently uploaded something. I think was it on YouTube or so. So just to add, even when people ask me question about the scholarship, I told them my foundation is putting something together. If you can be patient, this day, you get this thing done, because I cannot answer everybody. Okay, so just to answer some questions about international and national awards. See, anything that counts as an award to you, take it. There is no limit. So please, all of this, don't limit yourself. I cannot tell you. See, I even took down to my undergraduate scholarship. I took it along. So if you tell me it's not relevant, then I say, okay, yes. But it is relevant. Okay. All the SP awards I got, I took every damn thing. I'm telling you, those that flags, I went to make photocopy. So just like don't limit yourself. Aruna, please.
Yeah, I will stress on if you get more indigenous award, you should use that instead of international, right? I remember I think they will ask you to add like 5 awards, which carries one mark, right? So if you have like if you win like undergraduate scholarship, you win some stuff within the indigenous context, especially those from public university that might have chance to have won probably PTDF scholarship at the undergraduate level, right? Please include those national awards. Very important. One thing about PTDF is a Nigerian scholarship, right? So everything that you are doing, every single thing that you are doing, tailor it to Nigerian context. And trust me, you will not only wow them, but you only let them know that, oh, this is a treasure that we gonna spend money. Just like startups doing their pitching, you have to pitch well because people are spending money on you, and you have to make them believe that if they spend money on you, they will regret it. And that's how you make them believe. And if you are going to interview, just don't be desperate. Don't think like you will not make a mistake. One thing that can actually catch you off guard is to just think that you have answer for everything. Admit if sometimes you are not sure of what you want to do with your data, for those that are doing analysis or for those that are doing something that they are not really expert. You are not expected to know everything. Like admit that I'm not really quite sure, but this is the angle that I'm going. If I get this, I will be able to do this and that, because that happened to me when I was asked about how am I gonna get data right to carry out my analysis. I was just being honest, and I was really scared that I could make a mistake that will make me not really get this scholarship. So just be like be present, be original. Don't really stress yourself that you have to answer all the questions. In fact, the interview is just like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and for every minute that you drag with them, you're just telling them that this guy is not ready. So just be free. You are not expected to have 10/10 application or 10/10 interview sessions. So, but at least just make sure that you admit what you don't know, but for the questions that you know, just make sure that you give your best. And yeah.
Okay, so I'll go to Omowale now, but before that, I saw something about doctors and how you are graded. See, irrespective of how you are graded, you have your certificate. You have the way you are graded or whatsoever. Upload it and put it there. That's just to answer that. So please, Wale, maybe little insights on interview questions, because I feel we've done a whole lot about the whole application. So now, right after application, you've been shortlisted and called for the interview. So can you just give like hint or something?
Yeah, so basically the interview session is just for them to talk about your SOP majorly. Yeah, your statement of purpose, because the documents you submitted during the application, they have everything with them. They've most likely gone through it. They've seen your grades, although you'll be asked on that very day to also present originals for them to see them. You have to present the originals, then they go through it. So usually you have like 3 persons. Some panels you can have up to 4 persons on the panel. A person, one of them is going through your documents to check your grades, check your degrees, everything, and recording them on a computer. They're already recording it and entering the scores based on what is on your grade. Another person is asking you questions based on your SOP. In fact, there are 2 or 3, because one person is usually the one taking going through your documents and then giving the other person to make the recording. You can have 2 persons asking you questions. So the questions will, first and foremost, the questions is, why do you want to go and study this course? Or why do you want to go to this country? Your choice of school, your choice of course, that's the first thing you'll be asked. So you have to prepare yourself to give a very good and solid, convincing answer to that. Don't sound as if it's just an opportunity for you to run out of Nigeria. No, you need to be able to convince them that the course you are going to study, the school you have chosen, in fact, you must have written everything in your SOP, because as they're asking you that question, they are reading your SOP. So if what you are answering does not tally with what is on your SOP, you are only shooting yourself in the foot. And your SOP must, at least, you should identify what the essence of SOP, the purpose of you going to study. You should have identified a problem or maybe an area that is not as developed in the oil and gas sector that you are looking to provide a solution to, that you're looking to, contribute to by virtue of your studies, by virtue of the skills and knowledge you acquire when you go for the study. So you must have well articulated that in your SOP. So don't go and be saying something that is different from what is on your SOP. You must have, you know your SOP back to back, so that if any question is asked, you'll be able to provide answer. So the questions you'll be asked will revolve around your SOP majorly. Why do you want to go and study this course? What is the relevance of this course to the oil and gas? What is the problem you are trying to solve? Then they might just ask you some other questions like maybe your experience, what have you done, your projects you've been involved in, your work experience, places where you have worked. Sometimes if you tell them you are still working in some company, if you mention some company, they might ask you, why do you want to leave this company to go and study? Why do you want to, you are working in a good company, why do you want to go and study? So imagine that kind of question. It's a very tricky question. You should be able to prepare to find a way to answer that convincingly. You understand? So they are just trying to know your main aim, your main motive of applying for this scholarship, not that you just want to use it as an opportunity to run out of Nigeria. If you go and paint that kind of picture, you have only shot yourself in the foot. So basically the questions revolve around why you have chosen that course, the country you are going to or the school you are going to, and what is the relevance of that course to the oil and gas. How do you intend to solve any problem you have identified or make to help develop the oil and gas sector? Majorly the relevance of it. Every other questions are just miscellaneous questions. And once again, let me point it out, the people that will be interviewing you, most of them, they are lecturers and professors, doctors from universities. So whatever you are putting in your SOP should be something, realistic. You might be speaking, the person interviewing you might be an expert in that field you are talking about. So if you have not done your own work well, you go there and you can just go and mess up yourself. And you understand? And try as much as possible to be very polite. Don't go and show that you know too much. Don't be contentious. Anything that might cause maybe back and forth and they don't want it. You understand? If they identify an area of weakness in your SOP or this thing, you just accept and say, okay, well, you're still in development. some of these things, these courses, you really don't know much about them until you get into them. So you are not
Yes.
expected to know fully about the whole course content, the things you are required to, to know after the course, or if the courses will be 100% relevant to the problem you are trying to solve. But at least you should have a basic background knowledge of what you are going to do and how you intend to use it for the benefit of the oil and gas sector in Nigeria. So the interview, just try to convince them based on what is on your SOP. For your grades and your results, everything, there's nothing you can do about it on that day. Once you have there, you have presented to them that day, that's what they will record. So it is on you now to make sure that you're able to convince them with your SOP, with what you have chosen. That is the best way to, I think. I've known some persons, I've heard of some stories of some persons where they felt their results or their grades, their documents was not good enough, but they were able to man up and own up on their SOPs and convince the interviewers. So above all, be prepared. The questions will be majorly around what you want to do, your SOP, then pray for grace. But at the end, it's not about who has the best SOP or who has the best results. It's just grace. Pray for grace. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's you actually like said the main stuff.
Mr. Wale, are you a pastor?
Hello, you said what?
I said, are you a pastor?
No, I'm not. But at least you should have something you believe or who you serve. So
No,
It's
you're
actually very
absolutely right.
important.
it's very
No, you're
important.
Very
absolutely
important.
right.
But the reason, because I've heard of so many, I've seen so many persons, heard of so many persons, their grades, everything, their application package is so perfect. But at the end of the day, they don't get the scholarship. So what do you think happened?
Of course, you're very correct.
It could be that the state where the person comes from, they are even more persons with far better, grades. So you can't stare. You can't just stare. Just do your best. Give it your best shot, and pray that favor locates you.
So before I go to Awal, someone said something around 3 courses. Okay, going back to what Wale said, you are not just going there as this is a means, I just want to get the scholarship. You have to be intentional. They gave you like 3 choices to pick different schools. I don't expect you to choose 3 different courses from 3 different schools. It just shows you don't know what you're doing. You have an interest, and all your courses should be targeted towards that. So it could just be that, okay, let me say, for example, the schools I applied in Germany, there was one course that was doing energy engineering and management. Another one was doing like energy process engineering related to energy and something like that. They are not so far apart. The only difference in one was that it had management. And funny enough, looking at the course content of the other one, there was also management involved, but it was not stated on the course. So when you're asked the question like, why are you choosing this course and this course? Like they are not the same thing. You should be able to tell them. That's where doing your assignments comes in. You've checked the school, you know their requirements, you know what the course is going to entail, and that is why you want to go there. You're not just going there because this school is this, because some people will ask you question, how do I choose my school? Why? No, it is your choice. One, PTDF has given you selected schools, obviously. Though I know for Germany, you can actually get your admission and afterwards change your school, but there are still requirements to you changing that school. And that is, by the way, I'm sure the German scholars understand what I'm saying. Like it's still on the side when it comes to that. So don't just say because there are different schools and all of that. Your research proposal too. I see, I think Aruna answered that question on the chat. You cannot just choose 3 different schools. You're not submitting 3 proposals. You're submitting just one proposal, and that proposal should speak to all the schools that you are choosing and all of it. And they don't, like Walid has said, you should, they might ask you, probably you're talking to an expert and something you said is maybe a little bit wrong. You just tell the person, yes, that is why this is actually a proposal. This is what I actually intend to do. But I know along the line, what you said, you know the way we play politics with our lecturers in school now, we know the way these things actually work. You cannot go there and say, no, this is what I want to do. Okay, no, Allah. Okay, how please. You wanted to say something? Awal, you're muted.
Oh,
Like
I'm
your hand
sorry.
is raised. I don't know. Probably it was from previous.
Yes, please let me just add about the interview cases. Please, this is the implication of copying someone's work, especially for such proposals. When you go to the interview, they'll just ask you, please, Mr. Man, what do you want to do? They'll not ask you to read the English, all these things. What do you want to do? So imagine you copy it from someone without deeper knowledge on what you are going to do. You are going to mess up completely during the interview because normally you are the one who is going to dictate the interview because they are expert in your field actually. Definitely someone among them might have like a previous knowledge on what you are going to do. So once you start explaining, okay, they are picking some few words that they are going to use it to hammer you during the questions and answer session. So if you copy it from someone, if you don't know like a deeper aspect of it, I don't mean like complete research or no, like preliminary knowledge about what you are going to do. So from there you can be able to like to answer the question. But and like let me stress it again for the PhD, 70% of the interview is centered around that proposal. So please be very, very careful what you are going to present during the interview. And again, I think there are some additional changes for the proposal. I don't know. During our time, we use only one proposal for all the children's schools we applied during the application. But now I can see some they have 3 schools and you have to upload a proposal to each school. So as Haruna said before, it is irrational to present 3 different proposals. So which one are you going to work with? So for me, if I'm the one applying, I will use a single proposal to all the schools. Therefore, I know this is the direction I'm heading to. I think this is what
Okay.
I'm going to add.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will
So
add one
just
more
to,
thing. Sorry,
okay.
Shura.
Yeah.
I will add one more thing to proposal. So, one trick that you will learn when you start doing your PhD is to tell people like what you are working on, right? Like just 3 sentences. Tell me what you want to do. So I mean, like, even though you might not really have a clear picture of what you are trying to solve or what you are trying to do, just once you get the interview invite, just sit down with yourself, look at your proposal, reduce it down to like we have LLMs now. You can actually like play around it and ask like, okay, I'm gonna have an interview with PTDF and I want my research proposal to be reduced into 3 sentences or 4 sentences or 5 sentences. And once you have those kind of sentences, you just sit down, relax, record yourself, talk about it. The more you do it, the more you won't be able to crack under pressure because you'll be going down there and be thinking that, well, throw any question to me, I will answer to you. The more you are more calm, the more you'll be able to like withstand any pressure during the interview. Like your approach is the winning formula during the interview. You don't need to say that I'm not gonna make a mistake, like I mentioned before. Just be peace with yourself. Like reduce that sense of burden of saying that I know it all. You don't know it all because even PhD students, they are still in the crisis of how do I reframe my research question? How do I do it's a question that you and your supervisor will always have, right? So imagine as a potential candidate, you are trying to say, no, this is what I want to do. You don't understand me. I know quite sure that the person that was interviewing me doesn't really understand what I was trying to do, but I'm selling a product to him. And I acted like a salesperson and I was telling him, yeah, I understand that this is what you mean, but this is how I'm gonna do it. And what you said it's similar to what I want to do in this aspect. You don't really need to say they are incorrect, but you need to tell them that you know it far better than them, not really in a different context, right? So if you are going to, once you get the interview, just practice, practice, practice. Make it like in 3 minutes. How do I communicate to them? How do I tell them that I'm solving A so that I'll get to B and C will be my solution? Just frame it in 3 points. And once you start doing that, when you get to your PhD, you appreciate the fact that you already know what you are doing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, Aruna. Before I go to Alima, Aruna, someone said, does a 5-page proposal include your references?
Yes, it does. So what I did, I mean, like, so including your literature review, including your probably timeline to deliver your project. So what you do is that they don't necessarily boy like beach around, sorry to use beach, they don't really explode that references, so you could actually use 5 references. That's what I did. And look at your word sizing and all those stuff, how you can even make it compact
Shrink
all
it, yeah.
everything within 5 sentences, within 5 pages,
5 pages.
and make sure that you bring out the problem statement, you bring out the contribution that you are doing, and you bring out the probably research topics that are currently hot within that area. So your literature should be just be in form of tabular form. You just say Mistura and X, it's all 2006 talk about this, then Awala and Khadija talk about this. So you just have like list of your literature review. You don't need to write long sentences of this is the current literature review. Then your problem statement should be able to tell the panel that this is the problem right now and this is what you want to do. So in brief, just make it as short and precise. You don't necessarily need to do much. So when you get to the interview, you already know what you put out there in your proposal. Have a clear picture of this is what I'm going to talk about, and dwell more on your strength. If you know they ask you a question on something that you really know about and something that you really know that's your strength, explain it in such a way that you spend more time on it, leaving them with no extra time to ask you some question, so that at least they do it in 5 minutes or 3 minutes. From experience, before I even got to the interview stage, before I sat down, they were looking at me and I was already laughing. They said, I've already listened to what they asked the other person. I said my mind wasn't really there. So we started chatting already before we got to the interview. So the moment, like your first impression actually can change the whole mood of the panelists, and you can use it to your advantage. If you know something and they ask you, use it as a trick and just spend much of the time, because they do have like 3 to 5 minutes to interview you. And if that's the whole thing that you use to use it, in fact, they will give you your 20 marks, and that's a plus. Yeah.
Thank you. Camille, probably just 2 sentences or something. Oh, sorry, no, before Camille, Alima has her hands up.
Okay.
Sorry, please let Alima say something.
Okay, so me, I just want to add something regarding your O levels. So personally, I didn't have all A's. I had like 3 credits. So it doesn't matter if you have C or B or A, but yes, it matters. It's a grading system. But even if you have like C's, you still qualify. You can still back it up with other things, like other requested documents to support you, and you can still get the. So if you have C's, don't be, please, like it's not like you shouldn't really think that, oh, this has disqualified you. No, it hasn't. You still have chances. So you just need to work on other aspects that you have strengths in.
Okay, thank you. Camille.
Okay, it's just some question people are asking. One, it's about your country of choice. For those going for UK, you can't, it's only UK schools you have to apply for. You can't switch to Germany, France, or Malaysia. So if you choose your first choice is UK, it's only schools in the UK that you can apply for. Then for those that opting for the other route, which is the Germany, France, and Malaysia, yes, you can choose your first choice as Germany, second choice France, third choice Malaysia. It depends on you. Or you can also choose the 3 of them, Germany, or France, or Malaysia. So it depends on you. In UK, you don't have that flexibility. It's only UK schools you need to apply for. Then for the other route is UK, Malaysia, and Germany, you can interchange anyhow you want to choose your choice of country. Then the second question is about admission in Germany. Yeah, definitely admission in Germany. Mistura can testify to it. It's like this. So you have to like apply on time. Are you getting it? But even though you don't apply on time, don't worry. We'll get to that bridge when it comes to the interview section. So for now, just make up your mind on how to like scale this process to the next process. Then when you get to the interview section, then we'll bring out about this admission stuff and the life in Germany as a whole. So for now, just focus on how to scale through this process. And
Yes, so I
for
think what do you say?
No, I wanted to talk. No problem. Go on.
Okay. So we would not really be talking about things after the scholarship because time is not on our side. So we'll be focusing on how to get the scholarship. That's the most important thing. Because right after getting the scholarship, there'll be lots of orientation. You can network with scholars and all. So the most important thing, like I'm even seeing questions about which block actually pays the most. Like, are you let's not talk about that, please. Let's get the scholarship first. When you get the scholarship, you know the best thing to do. You know the next thing to do, rather. I haven't already said it. Like everyone on this call can actually testify that scholars, that PTDF is one of the best scholarship out there. So if someone has told you that, then just relax, and your problem now should be, how can I get a scholarship? There are lots of things you can get online. Someone is asking about a scholar that got something related to finance or economics. Even if you don't get, you've gotten enough tips to actually direct either your SOP or your application or something. Go online, go on YouTube. Like YouTube is an unpaid university. We don't have to pay to watch it, just have your data. Go online, search for it. I'm sure you get your answers. So like there are lots of things. So like how would I put it? Lots of that was why when I was talking about PTDF, I said it earlier. This information are online. We don't have to come here to talk about this thing. So we're just talking about the personal experience and how to direct your application. So, and I know some questions are repeating, you can as well go through the chat section. People have asked loads of questions. You get your answers there. And thanks to the panelists that have been reiterating on these questions that have been asked and pointing them out. Okay, so Awal, we'll be closing out very soon. So please, thank you very much. But still, okay, Awal, do you still have something to say? I see you dropped your hand.
Yes, for the admission in Germany and France, do you know there is a word that we used to call it? This is a good problem. So when you win the award, so getting admission in Germany and France, I'm sorry, is a good problem again. It's a good challenge. It's not like a bad challenge. It's like a good challenge. You will come to that stage. Don't worry. Now focus on getting the award. That is the best thing. Focus on getting the award. Any admission teams later on, especially Germany and France, yeah, it's another good problem. Thank you.
Yeah. So when it comes to awards, someone is asking if award and maybe certificate, they are completely two different things. Professional certification is different. Award is different. Award is like a recognition for something you did. This scholarship is an award. Probably scholarship you got in your undergraduate, even probably when you were working, you were awarded best staff of the year or something. Please, it counts. Take them along. Let them be the one to tell you it does not count. Don't tell yourself it doesn't count. Let them be the one to say it doesn't. So if you sit there and say it doesn't count, you already shot yourself in the leg before you already even like applied or even got the scholarship. Okay, so Wale.
Yeah, so I just wanted to chip in finally before we finish. For those of us that have not applied yet, this might just help you. You need to understand that the different blocks we have in the PTDF application, they are not equal. They are not equally competitive as well. I would say the UK block is more highly competitive than the GFM, the Germany, France, Malaysia, for obvious reasons. Because most persons or most applicants prefer to go to the UK where they don't have to struggle with a new language barrier and all that. While it's, I can say it's a little bit valid reason, it only increases the strength of competition you're going to face. So if your choice is going to be the UK, just know that you are facing a tougher or stiffer competition to get the award than people applying to Germany, France, Malaysia. If language barrier is your problem, well, if you have a course in your mind that or a country in your mind already that you're planning to go, you can start taking the language course on your own. Most of the schools in Germany, France, many of them offer courses in English. But if you're going to move into a new country, It's not you don't expect the people that you are going to meet there to be speaking your language, speaking English. So at least for you to be able to communicate with them, it's good. You also start looking at learning those languages. So, but I'm just saying this for some of us that might think our application might not be as competitive as such. If you think if you fall into that category, you think your application package regarding the competition in your states, the people you're competing with, you think UK might be too competitive for you, you can try Germany, France, Malaysia. I'm not saying it's not competitive, but history has shown that the number of applicants to UK, sometimes they triple the number of applicants in total to people that apply to Germany, France, and Malaysia. So you to use your mind to gauge the competition. You understand? So just look at those things. It might help you. For those of you that you have still not decided yet where to apply to, this advice might just come in handy for you. Forget about the language barrier. You will definitely overcome it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so before Aruna takes on, someone said something about, yes, I think this was a big issue for someone. Like he got best student in the department and it does not have like a paper record for it and the likes like that. I know most schools now give like a recognition for it. If I don't know, if probably your school sent an email to you saying something like that, yes, please print out that email and use it. But if you don't have any evidence, that's one. I don't know because you need paper evidence actually. Okay, Aruna.
Yeah, I'll start with this question that you just answered. I think to some extent I use one of the commendation letter that I got from the Vice Chancellor during my undergrad degree for having highest GPA. Like anybody that has highest GPA usually get that when we're in final year. So if you don't have, there are some awards from, you could actually reach out to the student body that normally awards like best graduating student. They say you can collaborate with them to just draft letter for you and you can scan it and upload it. The main thing is you graduated as the best graduating student and your CGPA is showing that that's really valid. Regarding what Wale said, I think that's the most, like that's the main thing when you compare to the other blocks. UK usually competitive, and also the Germany, France, Malaysia used to have less number. But if you look at it the other way, you find out that if you are going to a country where you'll have a chance to learn another language, that's a plus, honestly, and you should take advantage of that. I'm not saying that you should not apply to UK or something like that. I'm in UK, right? But if you have chance to learn another language, trust me, you'll never regret it, because even after school, most of the international jobs that you come across, especially multinationals, if you are a fan of going back to the industry, not really academic environment, you find out that language, addition of language that you have in your package will make you stand out. Because I have a mentor that actually got into a development bank, like in the world, like because he could actually speak Arabic, that actually helped him to stand out, and you got the job as a director. So don't think like if you are going to Germany or France or Malaysia, you are not really as competitive as the people in the UK. Just stick to your choice. If you believe that you're applying to the UK school, just apply for it. Forget about like having thousands of people applying to the UK. Just make sure that you are putting out the best of the best application. You're applying to France, Germany, and other schools. Just do it in such a way that you believe that even if there is no other person, like Ms. Tura said, like you can just make a mental match that I would get it. It's all about mindset and belief. And at the end of the day, you just pray and you'll be fine. Like always say that just put in your best and just continue doing your own thing. You get a call, you get an email. The day that I got my email for PTDF, I was busy sleeping. Somebody called me and said he saw my name. And I was like, really? So I just checked and I saw it. So just put in your best and continue doing other stuff. If you get it, you get it.
Okay. Camille, I saw you were trying to answer a question about the GFM application. So please just say something short about it. Like
The
choosing the different, okay, I could go for it, and maybe you add something.
okay.
Like during the application, you know the way when you, I think I mentioned it before, you can, if you're applying to UK, it's just UK. But if you're applying for the GFM schools, you can have your first choice being Germany, your second choice being France, and your third choice being Malaysia or something like that. But when you get the scholarship, during your orientation, they would have the whole conversation with you and let you know if you can switch or not. But that is by the way. So, but during your application, but the most important thing is these three schools you are picking, are the courses related? That's important, because if they are not related, then you don't know what you're doing. Okay, I think I saw something else about putting the school in your SOP. Excuse me, you have 500 words, just 500 words, and you're applying to three different schools. You can't tailor your SOP to the three schools and include that in your 500 words. Your most important thing is probably put maybe your first choice, the course, put it there and tailor the statement towards that course in a way that
So,
it can be related
to
to
the
the other
relevance.
choices that you
Yeah.
have. So putting imagine the name of your school is University of KwaZulu-Natal or something. It's already taking like how many words
More,
out of your SOP?
more words. Yeah.
So I think
So just take one of the schools, like I asked, take one of the schools, then just put your SOP around that school only. Do not add the other two schools. And mind you, again, the school you want to put, is it really relevant in your SOP? That's another thing you have to tell yourself. Is it really relevant? I put that thing inside my SOP. If the answer is no, kick it out. Then put more other reasonable things inside your SOP. Mind you, like she has said, you are fighting with people in your locality. You don't know how many people, brilliant people are there. And it's only the SOP you need that gives you an edge over 100 of people. So do not jeopardize with your SOP. Your SOP is just like your bank account, the money you have in your bank account that can take you outside Nigeria. So treat your SOP as your money. So if you do away, if you useless your money, definitely you don't have any money again to spend. So your SOP, you have to settle down, rethink, restructure, and reward again. All the before submitting, please and please, should I change it to PG? Make una use una SOP well, or write una SOP very, very well. That is my own take on that. Thank you.
Okay, so a question came in now about, yes, I know this is why a lot of people are asking, do I need to get admission? Because looking at the fact that the award comes out around September, and you would have actually, like, most schools would have closed their admission. So that's why most people have been saying, if you can gain admission before, please do so. And
No,
if you can't, it doesn't affect you.
yeah. Okay, I got the scholarship in 2022, but it's 24 I am in Germany. Right? Yeah, that is even 2 years. I got in 22, but I came to Germany 24. So it doesn't matter. The thing is that, are you really ready? Because the whole thing is that everybody wants to live. Bro, it's not what you think here it is, because it's another ball game on its own. So you have to be mentally stable, physically stable to do either MSc or PhD abroad. So you getting the scholarship in 22 and you are already like, okay, I want to leave this country ASAP. The economy and everything is giving you headache and all of the rest. Bro, you can relax for at least a year or 2 years before coming down for your scholarship. Are you getting it? So do not rush it, because once you rush it, bro, it will kick you out. It will be like film. It will be like movie. Honestly speaking, as check the panelists. There is no time. Like there is no time to even review what's it called, SOP for people. Because okay, tell me if you rush in, bro, you are going to rush out, because the system. These people are in 2020, 2030 or 2040 in the academic section. You understand? In their research and everything. But we back there in Nigeria are still in 1990 something. So you have to like strive to reach. Imagine you're in 1990 something, but you are striving to reach 20. You will be lost. Like there is no time. So you have to please calm down. Everybody calm down about admission or anything. I don't need to leave. First thing first, get the scholarship and keep the scholarship. Then you decide, okay, should I go for this school? Should I go for this school? Okay, this is what I want to go. First thing first, get this scholarship. Other things that you guys are asking, like stipends and rest, are not relevant right now. Thank you.
Yeah, so just to let you know that even if you don't travel, okay, now the scholarship comes out in September. PTDF is aware of this. They know that for people that have not gained admission, you cannot go to the school as at that time. So that year, I think for Malaysia, and France, they do the application, I think, through a particular portal or something like that, Uni France or so. If I'm not wrong, I can't remember the exact word. So there's a way you apply to the school and get all of these things done. It's quite easy. But for I think Germany and UK, you have to like do your thing yourself. And if you're going to, I think you have 2 years to like defer the admission, the scholarship, and you have to write to PTDF stating a reason why you want to defer your scholarship, and that would actually go for you. So all of these things would be discussed right after you get the scholarship. So what is the most important thing now? You get the scholarship. And for those asking for the recording of this meeting, yes, it's going to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So you can the link will be posted right afterwards. So now I want to give each apologies, we would not be able to take questions from the audience because even the questions in the chat box, I beg, it's more than enough. And thanks to the panelists for answering the questions, even on the chat box. It shows that while you are discussing here, you are still going through the chat, and that I really appreciate. So I just want like last words from everybody. You could say what you feel was your best shot and the advice you can give to anybody that is applying, probably in like 2 or 3 seconds, sorry, not seconds, sorry, like statements, please. Not something too long. So just give like the best advice to the next scholar that would get this scholarship. So I would start with Alima. Alima's still on the call. Okay,
Yeah,
so maybe
sorry, I
Aruna.
missed that.
Oh, okay. I said give the advice to the next scholar, like what you feel was your best shot and probably mistakes they should avoid or something that just a refresher.
Okay, so first you should be confident in yourself and you should pray. Yes, you have everything, but remember to pray very, very hard. Then I think it's also to note your weakness and put like channel your energy on your strengths as well, so that you can just find a balance to make everything work. Then so basically do well and pray.
Okay, thank you. Aruna.
Okay, so I would just say three things. First thing first, be original. So if you are putting out your application, just make sure that you are not really trying to invert someone's idea or opinion on your application. Just make sure that what you are putting out is legit and it comes from you and what you want to do. Secondly, go back to the instruction for PTDF scholarship, read it well, make sure that you understand it. Sometimes we often like miss out more information from the main website or from the main application requirement, and we'll be busy asking scholars, asking some few questions. So, and if you are reaching out to any scholar, I will mention it again. I'm speaking for myself, right? You have to be straightforward to your questions. Don't really start, do you think this thing will work, or do you just tell them, I've done this and this is what I want you to do for me. And by default, they can accept or reject your request. It's normal. don't take it personal. People are busy, so cut out all the abstract question. Go straight to the point. Ask question and put in your best. Don't submit too early. One thing that I always do if I'm applying for something is to wait till like 3 to 2 days before the last date and submit. So for the rest of the days, I'll finish and I'll keep on looking at it and reviewing it again and again. So 3 things: be original, read the requirements very well, and also review your own application. If you have someone to look over it, fine. If you don't have, just make sure that what you put out there is yours. All the best, and yeah, you can do it.
Thank you. Let me see. Okay, there's one question. I don't know who can answer this, but I don't know. Probably someone can just give the answer in the chat box. Probably we don't have to
Is it the one with
disrupt.
the best graduating student?
Yes.
Well, I was even about to, how do I say, respond to the question. We have our best graduating students in Nile University in this webinar, and I think she's in the best position to answer something like this. Precious, did you have
No, but I think the person says Precious, did you get PTDF local scholarship for BSc?
No, I didn't. So
no,
the
like what this guy is saying is
Is that a
if
beneficiary of their undergraduate scholarship?
beneficiary of their
no,
undergraduate scholarship. So
PTDF gives
Please,
automatic
whether
to
you are
any
BGS or BSS, you are
exactly.
competing with another BGS.
just put in
So
the
I don't
work.
know if they give, then obviously they would have reached out to you on that
Right.
basis. So I don't know how true that is. I don't know. Okay,
Okay.
so another story to cut
Yeah.
this. Someone said, okay, can you apply for the LSS and the OSS at the same time? Like the local scholarship and the
Yes, you can.
scholarship.
I think you
So
can.
can you get both?
Yeah,
Um,
people do get both.
yes,
I have someone that had two of them, but the
yeah.
thing is that why the selfish act? That's another thing. If you know that you can get one of them, so do not block other people's chances of
No, but
getting
it's
the other one.
still okay
No,
to
I think
apply
for me,
for
I would say
both.
apply for
But
both.
then, if you get international, you decline the local. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like it happens. So if you can do both, do both. If you get both, of course, you go for the bigger one. So
Okay. So
yeah.
Abba, the answer to your question is in the chat box, and I think you were the one that asked. Someone has actually answered that question. Or you can watch this session all over again on YouTube. Okay, so now, Precious, please, your what was your winning formula and your advice to the next scholar?
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Winning formula. I think Harina said something that resonates a lot with me, which is being original. Many times people just want to, oh, can you send me your personal statement so that I can, and I'm like, they call it personal statement for a reason. Like,
Mhm.
you have to tell your story in your own way because that's the only way you'll be able to defend it. Sometimes even this extra things that you're just packing, sometimes it ends up being overkill. If you can tailor your story to be right, like it already clears a lot of things. At my interview, I didn't bring out, I don't think I brought out anything except my one professional membership, which was SPE. I didn't show any other thing because like everything on my SOP was just who I was and I could talk about it with my full chest. So just be true. Don't try to be another person. That's I think that's the winning formula. Ensure your documents are accurate and all. Unless well, I maybe people may want to say because of how my grades were or something. That's why like I wasn't so stressed. But I mean it's competitive, right? So give it your best. Um Secondly, well, a lot of the questions that people are asking, I reckon that they would actually be answered if you just read what was on the website. But people are not reading. And that's the first cause of the problems. If you read the website of the university that you are applying for, then you will have a lot of the information that you need. English requirements, if your course needs it, you will find out from there. PTDF did not ask you for proof of English. So you don't need to say, oh, will I have IELTS to write PTDF? Like, do you understand? Just read. Just read what's on the website and you'll get the most important information. And just keep your head in the game as well. Sometimes just keep pushing your hand everywhere. You'll just be confused. And you now not even know what to do again. I think I'm speaking with a lot of passion because sometimes like you're just getting the same question over and over again when some things are explicitly said, or you watch a video, then you respond and ask a question that was answered in the first minute of the video. So what did you watch? Do you understand? So please, just if you're going to work with a resource, work with the resource, understand what was said, and make your stuff better. And like Olawale has been saying since the beginning of this webinar, pray. Because we can be good, but it's prayer that is to distinguish people. So I think that's just all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Awal?
Yes. I will just say 2 words. Do your homework and you pray. Thank you.
The prayer keeps reoccurring. Okay, so Camille.
Well, I just need to say 1 or 2 things, which is the motivation. Yeah, people think the PTDF scholarship it's for the brain box. I have 2-1, but the other things that my colleagues are saying, research and the rest, I did all of that. So do not focus, do not limit yourself. You can do it. You can do it. So I'm a 2-1 scholar, and I did everything humanly possible that all the boxes were well ticked for my 2-1 to get me to this place. So you with 2-2, you can do it. You with 2-1 also, you can do it. One thing again, all your documents, please get a list of them and tick them before submitting your what's it called, application. And lastly, your leadership skills, you have to put that into your SOP as well. So with this, I'll come to the conclusion. I wish you all good luck and see you guys during the interview section. Thank you.
I like the way you said you said it as you were there to end the debate. I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you. So, okay, Wale.
It's really a long, interesting discussion. So I would just like to re-echo what the others have said and maybe add a few things based on my own personal experience. So before I applied, I got PTDF for my second trial. So I took lessons from my first application that wasn't successful. I tried to re-strategize. So you have to be strategic. You know some of your, areas where you are weak, areas where you have some weaknesses. You have to be strategic about it. My first experience, I noticed that maybe if I change the location of my interview, it might just work for me. Because in most of the other centers, apart from the headquarters, the Abuja center, where you have mainly staff of the PTDF interviewing the scholars, I don't know if it changes yearly, but in the other centers, mostly you have lecturers, professors, doctors, and the people, the academia, mostly you have the academia interviewing you. So trust me, it will be hard to convince the academia, that those who are interviewing you who are academia, than to convince the person who is just the staff of the PTDF. It will be hard to convince. I think the staff will be more lenient within the interview. You can easily bobo them. Let me just use that word. You can easily bobo them down. You boboing somebody who is a professor for 20 years. You want to try to rigmarole the person with your SOP. So from my first, I did my first interview in Ibadan, and it wasn't really good based on the way I was bombarded. So I had to re-strategize. My second trial, I changed to Abuja. Even my colleague, my senior colleague, advised me to do it in Abuja. That I might find it more, the interview might be more lenient. So I did that, and it worked. I'm not saying the people in the interview in Abuja, they are not as knowledgeable as the others, but you tend to have a more welcoming atmosphere, a more atmosphere that builds your confidence with respect to the other locations. So it's just a little advice. If you can afford it, just try to take your interview in Abuja. It's at the tower. It might also boost your chances. That's just one of the ways of being strategic. It still boils down to your application package as well. If your package is not solid enough, you are doing yourself a disservice. Like Aruna mentioned, before you submit, you still have a window frame. Don't rush and submit your application. There's no award for the first person that submits. There's no rule that says the first 100 people that submit will get the interview invite. Even if you submit an hour to the close of the application portal, ensure that what you are submitting, you have tried to optimize it to the best possible application you can. And even before the interview, once the interview list is out, the short list is out, I think they normally open the portal for people to update their applications, like update their documents, I think it happens. So if you think there are some additions to your application that might not be ready before the application closes, but might be ready before the try to get those documents, try to get those applications, try to get those publications and all that, so that when the application, the shortlist for the interview is out and the portal is open for you to update, you can still add those documents. If you think your SOP was not good enough and you submitted, you still have an opportunity to update it when the shortlist is, the portal is open for updating. So it still boils down to what everybody has said. Prepare your application package. Be strategic. Be strategic. If you have not decided on where to apply to, the country to apply to, do your research very well. Where do you think you have the biggest chance? Of course, it has to stay align with your course you have decided to choose. Don't say because it's easier for me to get to Malaysia, then I'll go and pick. Then you have to go and pick a course that is not relevant to the oil and gas or what you want to go and do. You work out all those things, then you plan your strategy. Then finally, pray for grace. I always say it. PTDF scholarship is not about who has the best application. Like Precious mentioned, just one membership, whereas you have people with about 6-7 membership and all the awards, they won't get it. So there is no hard and fast rule. There's no written law as to this is the way they select. It depends on the strength of the average application. Like those who apply for that, it depends on the strength of the strength of the application of people you are competing with. So just pray that your application finds people and it makes that final slot. Just pray for it. So that's all I have to say. I wish you guys all the best in your choices and your application process.
It's the passion. Which everybody is giving his final notes. Okay, Khadija.
I think everyone has said a lot, and I know that it's a lot to digest. But in summary, I think everything has to do with planning. Plan well. Well, it's even there's an acronym they say, like, you plan, you pray, you plan, and you prepare. So at the end of the day, of course, you pray about it, you plan, this is what I need to do. And there was something that I think I missed out saying. Sorry, I'm going to say it. In as much as you're going through to check for those that have not yet applied for, the application, like the application has not gone through yet, please, if you are checking for the universities, try as much as possible to apply to good ranking universities. Don't just say, oh, like because admission is easy, let me just apply to, any random university. As much as like it's on PTDF, what's it called? Like the portal, like they've given the list, but try to check for like good ranking universities and plan, you pray, and you prepare well. So that's my 3 Ps this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So please, if you're still on the call, if there are questions on the chat, you can actually just respond to them because I don't think we can do any question. So from my own end, I would say give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. And I put this together, like, I know I coined it out of these popular phrases, but the last best time to apply was last year, obviously. And that was when pressures got ours, and that has passed. So the next best time is after this session. So there's still enough time. And that was why we put this session at this time. While it's still early, this 3rd of May, I think it closes on the 28th or 25th. So you have more than 20 days. Please mute yourself. Who is this? Usna. Apologies. Let me just mute. Okay. Yeah, so and the only way to know if you will back the scholarship is by applying. Like you can't keep asking questions. Do you think I stand a chance? I have this certificate, I have this grade, I have this. Please, you have everything. If you don't apply, you won't know if you won't get it. Most people, I think maybe probably just Aruna. Aruna said he got it just once and he did his assignment. It took his time. You can actually be the same as Aruna. Take your time, do your assignment, and you can probably apply. You might, I don't want to say you might not get it. And if you don't let it end there. You pick your mistakes, check what you did wrong, and put in for other stuffs that would actually make your application one of the best the next time and work towards getting it. Okay, so thank you. I want to say thank you very much. I don't think Zainab is still on the call. So this is the foundation, and we have several events outlined. If you check our social media platform, you can see we do stuff around education, SDG4. So we do vocational training, entrepreneurship training. We do mentorship. We have mentorship program ongoing. We have mentees and the likes like that. So I know there are loads of you on the call. If you have anybody, very soon when we open our mentorship program, we'll call on you guys to actually mentor our mentees and guide them. So these are stuffs we have planned out for next year. And to connect with us, please follow us on our social media platform. This video will be uploaded. Today is Saturday. I don't know if the social media manager will be available to do that today, but latest by Monday, I think this video should be live on our YouTube channel. You can please share, follow, subscribe, and check with us for several updates. You can actually sponsor us, partner with us. This is our email address, info@mrbeastfoundation.org, and visit our website, though we are still like building. I'm sure some of you saw the website when you're applying for this webinar. So thank you very much. I really appreciate, like, thanks to all the scholars I reached out to. It means a whole lot. It just shows you're willing to give back from that place where you actually got this scholarship. You're not being stingy. You're not keeping it to yourself. You actually want a whole lot of people to benefit from this. And to those who joined this session, thank you very much. We are really appreciate your presence, and we are glad we could actually make an impact. And that is all we are all about. So thank you guys, and see you in our next.
When are we gonna get our package from Misty Foundation?
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I think for technical event they normally give speakers their
They
package.
don't give speakers
Small chops.
package, right? Don't
Yes,
worry.
of course.
Check your email.
Aruna,
Yeah.
till we see in South Africa, inshallah.
Oh yeah, Camille. Yeah. We'll
True.
see in
That's
South
true.
Africa.
Camille and Aruna
Yeah.
are going
Sure,
to South
next month.
Africa. So
Yeah.
several opportunities to network with
Enjoy.
all of these scholars.
Yeah. I forgot
So
that
you
I'm gonna
can,
see.
when
Yeah.
both of you meet, or maybe Camille, you hug Aruna for me. So you will feel the Gemini weather. So
Yeah,
indirectly,
true,
It's
true.
this
okay.
foundation is reaching out to you.
All right. Thank you so much, and see
So
you soon.
thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
thank
Bye.
you,
you.
thank
No
you.
Thank you.
problem, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bye.
Cheers. Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Dan.
Bye.